Good morning. This is Mike Houston with your Saturday morning weather hazard briefing for Southeast Idaho. Looking at fuel conditions across the region, we look to be fairly critical in most of our fire weather zones, with the exception of the Island Park area here in Zone 411. Energy release components are critical here across the southeast, generally in the 80 to 90th percentile for ERC trends. And you can also see most of the areas here, the trends are falling. Less critical up here in the Salmon region, probably after that recent rainfall here last 3 or 4 days ago. Looking at satellite imagery this morning, we do have a fairly strong westerly flow beginning to impinge on the northwest states here, and so with that we'll see a little in the way of precipitation, but the winds will be increasing across the region. Here we are looking at the high temperature forecast for today, and we're looking at for readings in the mid 80s to lower 90s in the Snake Plain, and generally in the 80s here in the Central Mountains, and mid 80s to mid 90s in the Southeast Highlands. Minimum humidities will be critically low here across the Snake River Plain, generally around 15% here across the Arco Desert and some of these interior valleys of the Central Mountains, and some of the regions down here into the Southeast Highlands. And as I mentioned, the winds will be increasing across the region today and Sunday. Here we are looking at wind gusts this afternoon across the Snake River Plain, generally 20 to 30 miles per hour or better, and some fairly decent wind gusts here throughout the mountainous regions of the Central Mountains. The pattern doesn't change much for Sunday. In fact, it may be a little breezier with what we have over the region. Temperatures will be slightly cooler as a dry cold front works through the region. So here we are looking at daytime highs on Sunday, generally in the 80s, lower 80s here in the Snake River Plain, mid 70s to lower 80s in the Central Mountains, and generally in the 80s here across the Southeast Highlands, maybe about 5 to 8 degrees cooler on Sunday than what we see today. Minimum humidities Sunday afternoon still remaining critically low here across the Snake River Plain and interior valleys of the Central Mountains and portions of the Southeast Highlands. But we are seeing an uptick basically in coverage here due to the cooler temperatures. Wind gusts Sunday afternoon look to be a little stronger, generally in the 30 to 40 mile an hour range here across the eastern Magic Valley and southern Snake Plain, extending even into the Southeast Highlands here. A little less critical here across the Central Mountains, where readings will be weakening some behind that front. As a result, we do have red flag warnings here. That's the red colors throughout the Snake River Plain for today. I wouldn't be surprised to see localized red flag conditions in, like I said, some of these interior valleys of the Central Mountains and Southern Highlands. You'll see this brown color. We also have near lake wind conditions here at American Falls this afternoon, but then wind advisory conditions for the eastern Magic Valley and Snake River Plain, and extending into some of the Southeast Highlands here for Sunday. Ridge rebounds across the region on Tuesday and continues into Wednesday for dry and warming conditions. By Thursday, that ridge breaks down as we see a Pacific disturbance working in over the top of the ridge, which should bring us at least isolated or scattered thunderstorm potential here for Thursday or Friday. That's all I had for you here this morning. If you had any comments or questions, please give us a call at the number on the screen. Thank you.